Emilio, the Honey Badger, Urrutia!
I'm JP. Mistanza. Now here's the news you need to know.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Honey Badger Hour. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Honey Badger Hour, episode 47. It's your boy, the Badger, and we're back, coming at you live from the new studio in the Miami-Dade 305. And we are here joined today with another special guest for the second time on the Honey Badger Hour, returning again, my good friend, UFC veteran, MMA local fighter out of Miami, Florida, my dog, Danny Chavez. What's happening, brother?
What's up, man?
All right. Welcome back to the studio, doggy.
Thank you.
Yo, I appreciate you having you in here, dog. It's been a while.
The first time is when you were in Thailand, and we did the interview through Thailand.
Yeah, remember we did the interview in Thailand, dog, just before, I want to say, just after the coronavirus.
Yeah, it was around, I would say September, October 2020.
Damn, so it's good to be back, dog. Yo, you're one of the first fighters that I had to come in the studio, number one, because you're one of the few people I'm comfortable bringing back to my parents' house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't know we trapping out of Kendall right now, dog. Old school, baby. But, yo, how's it going, brother? Good to see you, my man.
Everything good. The same thing, you know what I mean? Nothing, I wouldn't say, since the last time we talked, I'll say, everything is still with the same goal, fighting, training, fighting. I don't think the goal has changed yet, you know what I mean, since the last time we talked. Outside of that, anything different, I wouldn't say anything else, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, ever since I was able to take my career as a full-time, that's exactly what I've been doing. You know what I mean? I have privates here and there. I teach classes here and there. I'm an MMA master's as well. But I really do my career as a full-time career. So
Yeah, definitely. You've just been busy.
That's all I've been doing. Is training.
Just training all day long, getting it in, yo. And yo, you had a busy weekend this weekend, huh? You were telling me last night we were gonna do an episode, and you were saying you were out and about all day in Miami, dog.
Yeah.
You were deep in the MMA scene, so just in case, we're gonna release this tomorrow. So if y'all don't know, it's Sunday right now. So yesterday was Saturday, just before the Serial Gone and Bam Bam Tayabasa fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what you were telling me, what you had going on yesterday? You had a big day for the gym, huh?
Well, yesterday, we had early in the car. It was Gabriel, one of our guys, fighting in that car against Benoit.
Oh, nice. So you had a guy.
It was a favorite. He was a favorite. He was from his hometown. His original guy pulled down, so Gabriel had to step in. It was a 2-week notice, and he just went in and had a great fight. It was good. Halfway through the first round, and it kind of went the other to Benoit's side. He got a takedown. He got him hurt a little bit, and then in the second round, it didn't go our way. But it was a big, every time anybody from the gym fights, is a big day for us, you know what I mean? And then later on the same day, one of our guys from, one of our amateurs fought as well in a combat night, you know what I mean? One of the amateur shows is down here. It's always been down here. It's been here for a long time.
It's a long time show, bro.
It was in Las Olas in Club Sway, so I was there and helping him corner two, so cornering one of the guys. Didn't go away either, so it was went on to that day, last night, but it is what it is. This is part of the game. You go out there and you train, you give yourself a chance to win a fight. You gotta go out there and win the fight. You know what I mean? So you win some, you lose some. But it is what it is. And like I said, and especially for a guy like Gabriel, you're fighting the best of the best. You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely. In the UFC, short notice too, right?
For this guy Paulo, that was the amateur fighting for us. It was different because he was actually, it was his first fight amateur. He's just starting to learn how to fight. It's different. For Gabriel, it was it's his dream coming true. You know what I mean? So he went out there, but he, like I always say, you can never excuse anything. You know what I mean? You have to go out there and win the fight, no matter if the cards are stacked against you, or if you're not the favorite, it's not your country, that whatever. You gotta go out there and win the fight. You know what I mean? And it is what it is, and you have to own it. And that's it. All you gotta do is go back and fix whatever was wrong, and get back. You know what I mean? It was that was just one fight. You gotta go out there and win the next ones, and that's it. And nobody cares about the loss when you're winning.
Was that his UFC debut?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. There you go. So, and he took it on short notice, right?
Yeah, he did it on short
against the
notice.
hometown guy in Paris.
And one thing I always say about fighters is like body language. Show me what you got. I mean, like you could lose, but how you lost? Do you lost trying to win a fight? Do you lost trying to fight? You know what I mean? Or you were just like shying away from the fight, like you were just not fighting. You know what I mean? Like you were just. I seen people do that. You know what I mean? Like either it was the stage or the fighter or the fight, whatever it is. But it just You're not fighting. You're not even having the intention. You're not being mean. That's not what happened. You know, he went there to fight. It's just that it didn't go our way. As simple as that. But
Nice,
I always say, if you lose, and then you lose because you feel like you just held back from showing who you are and your potential, that's when it sucks. You know what I mean? Because when you go out there, you could be yourself and fight. You know what I mean? It doesn't go your way. It is what it is. But as a coach or as a person especially as a coach, you're watching, but you know that your fighter has that in them to fight. You know what I mean? That dog in them.
Yeah, the will to win. The will to win.
Yeah,
Like desired. Like.
But when you have guys,
you can be losing a fight, but you can still be fighting the whole time. You're like trying to get up. Sometimes you get taken down. You get held down. You're trying to get up.
Look, there is such thing as fighting like I said, you fighting a frustrating fight. You know what I mean? Like a guy that moves so well in and out, or it's just hard to touch, so you don't really get to engage so aggressively. Now you're gonna get counter hard. But when you do engage, you could see his intention to punch hard or something. I'll tell you about the people that kind of like, the fighters that kind of like punch, like just trying to touch your face. You know, I'm like, come on, man, hit him like you mean it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like, I don't know, man. Like I feel like some fighters, not all fighters, but some fighters, I feel like sometimes they play the point system. You know what I mean? Like I think sometimes you gotta fight, man. You gotta and not only that, but you gotta like. You could even play the point system like we talk about the main event of the UFC, Series. I always say
Serial Gone.
Gone. There you go. He plays that point system, but when he hits you, he hits you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well,
he's not just trying to tap you the whole entire time. Like I always say, there's people that sometimes they just want to punch to touch you. They don't punch to really like hit you in the face and make you feel like, yo, I'm punching you in the face. You know. So those are the ones I'm saying. Like like I always say, if you're gonna lose. Going out there, you went out there want to fight and smart, always smart. But you're going out there to fight, But when you go out there and you're like doubting yourself more than you believe yourself, and everybody has doubts. Everybody goes through all those, all those negative thoughts, and I feel like when we were young, you'll be like praying to God and stuff, like, hey, help me out with this one. You know what I mean? I don't think we do that. I don't do that anymore. But I'm saying when I was young, I did. I'll be like, I'll train harder next time if you let me help me here.
Yeah,
I'll start making promises and stuff. And
what's that saying?
I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go to church if you let me this, and I have to go because I end up winning, so I have to go to church and stuff. and but like I said, like in this sport right now, like I just always look at the fighters' body language. How they fight. You lose, it happens. But I want to see how did it happen. If you mentally like gave up or something really happened, you get kicked. Okay, you got hit well, and that's it. Hey, it happened. You made a mistake. You making a mistake it happens to everybody.
Yeah,
but
I think
it's different when you, like I said, when you don't go out there and you don't fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think with fighting, it's a weird one, man. I think it's to each his own. You know what I'm saying? Like as the fighter, like if it's up to the person, bro. Like if you make the adjustments and make the adjustments you need to be made, then you can fight again, and then you continue to fight. You know what I'm saying? And every loss is just like data. You know what I'm saying? You can learn from it, and then that's up to the athlete, right? You know what I'm saying? But I definitely know what you mean. Like you're saying, like you can lose a fight, dog, and go to sleep that night and not feel not bad about it. If you fall your heart out and you know what I'm saying, you're getting taken down, the guy's beating you up, or if you got like your eye closed shut or something happened crazy that nobody knows about, because you know how it is, dog. in a fight, there's a lot of things that happen, and then people don't even know. Like, you could throw a kick, be like, yo, why didn't this guy shoot a takedown? Like, you don't even know. I threw a kick and my leg was broken in the first round, but you know what I'm saying? So,
or walking
there's
into
little
a
battles.
fight.
Or going in super injured, dog. So
not super injured, but yeah, injured.
But anything,
if you go in
dog,
super injured,
you know?
you shouldn't be going into a fight.
I mean,
but
whatever, dog. Like, to each his own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody has their reasons, but if you put your best effort, you know, you feel like you can go to sleep, like you have nothing to be worried about. But when you don't put it all out there, then sometimes that's when you're like, damn, those are the ones that haunt you. I reckon, for sure. I could imagine, you know. But yeah, your boy had a good fight. He went out there, fell a little bit short, but that's all right. It's his UFC debut, and he fought in Paris, right?
Yeah, it was the first card in Paris, so it was like a big
He
card.
made weight? Did he make weight?
Yeah, of course.
So that's the most important thing, dog. Like, yo, you make weight and you show a job. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Then you're going to get another fight, and then he'll have him more prepared.
He'll be fine.
That's dope, dog. And then you guys went to combat night. Yo, so you had a busy day, bro. You cornered some guys and shit.
You know, like I said, didn't go well for him either. But then after that, I ended up just coincidentally coming. I was just like a block away from my manager's crib.
That's dope.
So I went to my manager's crib and finished watching the UFC, and watched the UFC, and then I went home. And
yo. Let's break it down. Let's get it into it, dog. We got the one championship UFC veterans in the house. Let's break down some fight knowledge. How many fights did you watch last night on the main card?
Okay, I got to watch the Charles Jourdain and Daniel Wood.
I started to watch. I was trying to do a podcast and set up here, and I was going to try and do a fight companion.
I was watching. I actually had Charles Jourdain winning, but eventually they did give the win to Daniel Wood, but I kind of was talking and being on my phone at the same time as I'm watching that fight.
Me too.
So I wouldn't really want to say I know exactly who won the fight. I had to rewatch it. I think what I was watching, I was watching Charles Jourdain winning the fight. So I think it was because I was watching the first round or something. Or like I said, I watched all 3 rounds, but it was moments that I was talking to a manager, or we were eating sushi. You know, I was just there. You know.
Yeah.
I was busy. You know, I really didn't pay attention to that fight. The one that I did see was Robert Whittaker, the main event and the main event.
Oh, me too. Those are the 2 fights. We'll break down those 2 fights. Okay. But you know what fight I did see before that? That was really good, dog? The knockout. Oh, my God. The Russian guy. I don't know if it was the first fight of the night. Like the Russian guy who's German. And he was like the 2 German guys that fought. The guy from Dagestan, he knocked him out. He hit the guy with a front kick.
Oh, I saw the highlights, but I didn't see that fight.
Oh, that was nasty.
Yeah, because the thing is that right before the Gabriel fight, I was actually teaching a private, so I was constantly keep looking at I was in the gym, and I kept looking at the TV. Gym. And when I saw the TV, I stopped my private. I was like, okay, hold on, we gotta watch this fight first. So we watched the fight. As soon as the fight was over, we went back to teach the private, and then I had to go do a pool workout.
Oh, he fought mad early, huh?
I went to go do a conditioning. I went to go do conditioning. Then, so I missed a lot of the fights. So the ones that I got to see was Gabriel's fight and the co-main event and the main event, and a little bit of the Charles Jourdain fight. Let me see, any other fight? Oh, you know what? I'm lying to you. I did get to see the Buckley fight.
Oh, the Buckley fight was pretty good. Yeah, Buckley fought hard, bro.
Yeah, that was a good fight. You know. The other, I never knew about the other guy. I never heard of him.
Me neither.
But now I know.
He's good though. He's clean, but Buckley fought hard, bro. I think that guy thought he was gonna finish Buckley like in the second. He was kind of cocky, but then he started to learn quick. You know, the UFC is a different level.
Yeah, but eventually, you know, I feel like Buckley aggressiveness, and when he came with kind of like a. You know, at one
he
point,
was like slipping in and out.
Because the guy wouldn't cut the corner. The guy kept going backwards. So eventually, Buckley just got to run into him, and I think he kind of hit him pretty good at one point.
He hit him with some good shots, dog. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He started to turn some corners at the end of the second round. He started
getting his money
worth.
But the guy just kept it. Like I said, body language. The guy kept it look like he kept bouncing around like nothing has happened.
Like karate stance, like this, right? Like unfazed by nothing. Yes, exactly like Gain. Saying like that Paris France.
Relax. So you know, sometimes I always say this, like, you know, I used to say this about Joel Romero. Sometimes I feel like Joel Romero plays like
the karate style, bouncing in and out.
Like he looks like he's gassed out, and then he blitzes you. But what I feel like him selling out that he's always looking like he's gassed out, it makes it look like the other guy is in control of the fight. It's kind of weird. You know what I mean? I feel like the judges will look at you, if you look tired, they look at that as a bad thing.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. So if the guy that was fighting Buckley says, even if he gets hit, he will move around like if nothing. Like if this was just part of his poker face. Yeah, you gotta keep that poker face in that, like nothing has happened. You know what I mean? Because the moment you do act like weird, it's like, oh, Buckley's
Like,
owning that
comfortable.
moment now. You know what I mean? So that's one thing he did really good. Is not letting Buckley really own a moment.
Exactly.
You know
Yeah, Buckley had his moments, but he was
But he
never
was just-
able to take over.
Yeah,
the
never
guy
took
always
over.
took it back.
Ayo took it back.
You saw
and-
he did that one. Yes, like Buckley looked like, oh shit, he was turning it on. He threw like a nice left hook.
But then
he
he'll
was
come
bobbing
in and they'll do something
and then
too.
the guy did that nice duck under, bro.
Duck, there you
Went to
go,
the
yeah,
back.
yeah,
Oh, that
yeah,
was
yes,
clean. I was
yes,
like, oh, that
yes,
was
yes.
nice. I
That's
like
what
the
I'm
way
saying.
he evaded damage, you know? Yeah, very professional performance. That guy has like 25 fights. He's like an old school veteran guy. He's like one of those Dagestan guys that lives in Europe. Like he moved from, he got like left Dagestan, Chechnya, and now he's living over there in Paris. Yo, they got a lot of good strikers over there. I've been training with a lot of French guys when I was living in
I didn't know he
Thailand.
was from Dagestan. I didn't know.
Yeah, he's like a Russian guy, and then
I thought he was French. Wasn't he?
he lives. Yeah, he's from
Oh,
France.
okay.
He
Oh, okay.
represents France, but he's like Dagestan descent. You know, like he migrated over to France.
I didn't know that.
So he's got like those guys they have good striking over there, and MMA has been illegal there for a long time, but they've always had really good kickboxing and Muay Thai.
Yeah.
So that's what's up.
Kickboxing. I used to hear from.
Yeah, they're scrappy, bro. They love to fight.
That's
Yo, so
where.
it's cool.
Isn't that where Czech Congo's from?
I think Chet Congo's from there. My boy Fabio Pinca, who was a Muay Thai fighter, he won Muay Thai Fighter of the Decade in 2020. He's from France. They have some good strikers.
Yeah,
yo.
yeah.
So MMA is gonna blow up over there. It was like sold out. Crowd was bumping,
It was,
bro.
I think if I'm not wrong, because I was googling how many people, the capacity of the stadium they were at. I think it was
was loud.
20,000.
They said it was mad hot. Oh, it was like 100,000.
No, 20,000.
Oh, 20,000. That's a lot of people. Yo.
100,000. We're talking
That's
about.
crazy. That's like a stadium.
100,000 is the, and that's
a
what I was
soccer-
saying.
like a soccer
No,
stadium.
yeah, but that's the.
Adelaide.
Because I was looking into
Australia.
this Webley.
Oh, Wembley Stadium. Yeah.
Wembley?
In London.
In London,
An
there you
arena
go.
that they want to do
You
Leon
know,
Edwards Usman.
Exactly. I was looking when they
No.
when they know why he said that, and he mentioned the stadium. He's like Webley. I'm like, let me look into Webley. So I went to Google. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's 80 something thousand people, 80 something thousand seats, and I was like, that's a big arena because. Okay, I know the UFC has packed arenas. I know that. But it's always been 20,000, capacity, 20,000, 15,000. I don't know if the UFC has ever packed an 80,000.
They had
which one?
They had Adelaide in Australia was a stadium. They had like 47 something. Damn, I should have that. I was considering.
Like what-
I was
what's the
considering
most
whether I
ever-
should
what's
bust out the
what's the-
laptop. I can bust it out, the laptop. I want to say that Adelaide had. I should have a laptop here. It's right there. Adelaide, Australia was in a stadium. It was huge. It was like 47,000, maybe more. When Israel Adesanya fought, remember
Okay.
when he fought in Australia? And it was like they had like the 2 days because they fought in the morning in Australia.
Yeah.
They fought like 12 o'clock over there.
Yeah.
That was a huge one. But yeah, I know what you're saying, dog. Like, but UFC, Dana White says he likes to have fights in like small arenas, like packed, like 15 to 20,000.
Yeah,
like,
because-
makes mad noise.
Well, that too, but at the same time, I wonder if it's, because of the sport, can the sport really pack that much in a? I know, like the bigger the bigger the fight, of course, though it will. But I'm just saying, like, just any fight goes out there and you don't pack 40, 50,000. You have to go for those 20, 15,000. You know what I mean? Like, or like my last fight was in Austin, Texas, and it was 13 point something thousand people.
Was it sold out?
It was sold out.
How was the crowd?
It was great.
You liked it?
Yeah, it
And
was cool.
the one before
It was
that,
13 something thousand, if I'm not wrong.
13 something thousand. Wow. And then, what was your fight before that?
13,500.
Is that your first time fighting in an arena in UFC?
Yes, yeah.
Oh wow! So although the other times were in the Apex Center.
It was very quiet. Yeah.
Oh, you fought in the Apex Center, which is like a sparring match, and you fought quiet. That was your third. You fought quiet a few times. You did a few fights
four
before
fights.
the Corona.
Yeah, 4 fights. This is my yeah, because when I fought for the Global Legion belt at 145, we fought in Tampa. 'Cause we were gonna fight in Miami, but Miami, everything was shut down. And
Really?
So we had to go to Tampa, and when we went to Tampa, we fought over there, but there was not really that many people there. There was just the camera people, or I would say like staff, and probably like a very, very few people that probably like guests from the promotion. You know what I mean? That's about it. And then I fought. I got the call. I made it. So when I fought my first fight against TJ
In
Brown,
Apex.
it was in the Apex, and it was quiet.
Yeah, I
The
remember
second one
that.
against Jared, the same thing. Kamaka, the same thing. And then I finally had a chance when I fought Ricardo. I was able to actually have a crowd. I had my family there, and it was a crowd.
Chino went and
It
had
was
the
pretty
homies
cool.
there, right?
I would say by the time I fought, it was probably like 8,000 people there already. So it was pretty packed already. Because when I walked out, like there was, it was great because when you're walking, you have the people right from the beginning, and you get that, fighting here in Miami many times, my peoples are always ready for me to walk out.
That's
they
why
were there.
I remember
So I'm
growing up,
used to
dog,
that.
watching you scrap,
I'm
dog.
used to
You
that. I'm
sold
used to
mad
that.
tickets, dog.
But this one was different. You know what I mean? This one was different because
The octagon.
yeah, you
They
walk
make
in
it like a
in,
gladiator pit,
and like I
right?
said, it's just when you do get to see, because everybody's on their phones or whatever, and you get to see when you walked into the octagon, you get to see across the people, and I'm the kind of guy like to hype up. I'm always been used to, I'm used to like clapping and hyping up, but my last 3 fights were in the Apex, and who am I hyping up? There's nobody there. You know what I mean? I'm going like this, and it's just crickets. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck. So this one I was able to. You know what I mean? I go like that, and everybody started clapping. So I was like, oh, let's get it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's dope. And you had Bruce Buffer. Bruce Buffer was in
No,
the
that
Apex
was only
too, right?
that was only the first time I fought. I haven't seen him since then.
You had Alex Martinez, the WEC guy.
Yes, and
I like that guy. I love that guy.
Is he the one that's on the other ones? Yeah, I think he's on all three of them.
Yo, remember when
My last three, I mean.
So when we first started training, there wasn't even our weight class in the UFC. So I was always thinking I'm gonna go to the WEC, and I was always imagining that guy's gonna be the one that introduces me when I make it.
I thought I was gonna go up to 155.
But you know what? Because there was
only 155.
Because there was only
up.
155, and
Yeah.
I was just thinking I'm just gonna fight in WEC and go for fucking favor. You know what I'm saying, dog? So I was
That is
always
crazy.
thinking that guy is gonna be the announcer. So he's
Yeah.
like one of my favorite announcers. I think Alex Martinez. He's the man, dog. I should slide in his DMs. I bet you he'll do a podcast with us, dog. It's not like big time like Bruce Buffer, I don't think we can get Bruce Buffer on the Honey Badger, dog. But we can get WEC, bro, for sure. Oh, man. So, yo, dog, how's training? You're training at MMA Masters now? You guys got the new facility?
Well, I've been training there.
I mean, I'm sorry. We
Man, it's
know
not
that,
like
but,
I just moved camps or something.
Yeah, all right. You're at MMA Masters. Well, I just moved back to Miami, and I was driving down the Palmetto. There you go. All right, I'm new to the 305, yo. I was driving down the Palmetto, and I saw the new facility. It looks nice. How long you guys been there for in Hialeah?
Right there in Hialeah,
That's what I meant.
we moved there by 2021. I think, if I'm not wrong, February 2021, because it was like literally the week of my weight cut. The week of my weight cut against Jerry Gordon, we were moving to Hialeah. Yeah, the spot was already bought. We were moving to that spot, So when I came back from the fight, the spot was already there. So, yeah, that's when we moved to that spot. But I've been with my master since I was 21, 22 years old. So, yeah, homie. I just messed that up right now.
Nah, it's another one. What year did you start training at MMA Masters? That's a great little segue. That's a good one that we didn't ever talked about. All right. Chicka, 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 rewind. For the IG clip. We can edit and do whatever we want. So what year did you start training, dog?
I started training at 19 years old.
19 years old.
I'm 35. Actually 16 years ago.
Nice. And then you've been training MMA Masters since the beginning, right?
No, MMA Master's been since the beginning of my pro career. You know what I mean? My first 2 years and like a few months, it was at FFA.
Okay.
That was the first gym I worked in. It's funny, actually, before I even went there, I actually was so close to signing up to the Valente Brothers Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in North Miami Beach. Because right by there, I used to work at this sheetrock construction. So every time I got out of work at sheetrock, I wanted to go do jiu-jitsu there, because at that time, we were talking about 2005, 2006. So
yeah.
I didn't know about MMA schools. You had to I feel like you had to hop from school to school and learn each thing differently. I thought that's what it was.
Remember back then?
But that's what I thought it was.
How was Miami? Remember 2005?
And it was kind of like that. It was
like that.
It was
you had a
kinda
Muay
like
Thai
that.
gym.
And then you have to go to a boxing gym, and then you have to go to a jiu-jitsu school, and then you have to go. So, and then but then you did have schools that's already putting it all together in one school, one spot. So they'll have, that's how that's how actually all gyms are now. You know what I mean? Where you don't have to go hop somewhere. You have everything in one place, and actually, you build the philosophy again. A way of the way these people put it together. You know what I mean? With all these tools, all these skills. But I was gonna go to the Urrutia Brothers, and I was just gonna do jiu-jitsu there, and I was gonna try to do boxing at Tropical Park, and then I was gonna do like, I was actually even looking into kung fu. I even went to a Jeet Kune Do school, the one that's right here.
The one here, 137th Ave, yo.
No, 127.
Yeah, the one here, dog. By where that grill used to be.
I was gonna go there, and then they showed me the prices. I was like, damn, it's expensive. You know?
Dang, that's where all the cops train.
But then I was like, oh my god, this is Bruce Lee's philosophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you thought.
So,
we didn't know back then.
I didn't know anything back then. So I was so close to sign up, and the reason I didn't sign up is because I didn't have like the like a registration fee. So I said I'll be back. So before I got the bread to come back and sign up, I'm looking at the yellow pages, which the shit, you know, they don't exist anymore.
Crazy,
so because you got Google now.
There's no Facebook. There was not even no Facebook and stuff, you know.
Oh,
Barely.
for you.
Maybe a little bit, you know.
There's no. I'm like, what happened?
Back
I don't
then.
have one. So okay.
Back then, right?
I get what you mean now. I was gonna say, what are you talking about? All right. So I was looking at the yellow pages, and I see 30-day free trial. That's how they sold me with that. And I was like, 30-day free trial. It's a month free. You know what I mean? That's a month.
That's
and
awesome.
And it said all the things like jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, all that stuff. And I was like, whoa, what is this? You know. So I went and I tried it out, and I liked it. And I'm a very sociable person. And, you know, I socialize really. So I socialized with the people there while I was already in there, and at that time, you know, they were very respectable school. You know what I mean? And
it was a good spot.
Yeah, it was a good spot.
It was them and American Top Team at the time, really.
Yeah.
And in Miami,
and a few other small gyms.
Who else
out
was
there,
in Miami, right?
No, but there was a few gyms out there, you know. But that you know, they were competing with them, you know what I mean? Especially for like the Miami spot, you know what I mean? The South Florida spot, you know. So, you know, and it was like more like, you know, like I always said, you know, with no comparison to Coconut Creek or nothing like that. But I'm saying like the other ATTs that were around, you know what I mean? Because Coconut Creek has always, ever since they established themselves, has always had like
they've always had big dogs.
Yeah, big dogs, you know what I mean? So
but
you always have to respect that's cool, you know what I mean?
But the other American Top Teams were whatever, dog.
Those are the ones that you were battling with.
Nothing
you know
crazy. But that's who we compete against.
But those are the ones you were battling with.
That's who you always go against in the competitions and stuff.
Because we were amateurs, you know what I mean? Well, I wasn't doing amateur MMA, I was doing amateur kickboxing.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I did a couple of new breeds, not new breeds, I'm sorry, Nagas and like other tournaments.
ISKA ones and stuff.
I did ISKA, but for kickboxing, I did 3 of them. And then, you know, things just didn't work out with me and FFA. And I was talking to my boy Pablo about it. I was like, look, you know, I'm looking to make new moves, you know. And he's like, look, I'm talking to my peoples there. That's my old coach at the time. Let's go try it out. I'm like, you know, let's go, because I already had closed my doors already at FFA, so I was already looking for a new school. You know what I mean? So I went there to MMA Masters the first day. Met Master, met Sensei. The first day they put me to go baboon and trying to take him down, and they liked my wrestling, you know, because at that time baboon was just started to like to ascend.
Grappling, like
ascend, but that was his thing. That was like people didn't want to strike with him, so
sprawl and brawl. He need to get his wrestling good.
So they were like, okay, you
shoot on him.
So I started training there, and you know, I signed up. I signed up to MMA Masters, and at the time it was not called MMA Masters, it was called Team Noguera, and it was in Brickell. And for like a few months, and then like months later, Master and Sensei had started their own thing. It was called MMA Masters, and that's when I went with them. And you know, fighter's life, you're broke most of the time.
Yeah.
So I remember me telling at one point, Master was like, "You haven't been in the gym," and I'm like, "I don't."
You couldn't pay.
I can't pay. He's like, "Okay, just you know, clean the mats, and train every day. If you don't train every day, you can't be here." And you know, it's been a roller coaster since then, because you know I got my good moments and I had my bad moments. Man.
But they opened the door to you, when you couldn't train there.
But there was moments that I would be there like this, and the moments that I would play ghost a little bit, and they'd be like, "What the hell were you at?" You know what I mean? So, but no, ever since like I keep saying, ever since my last like ever since I turned 30, I always said that that's when I actually really turned it on, and I really train every day. I'm all about my career. I
dedicated to the gym,
because I was at 20. At 20 in my 20s, I feel like I was trying to like still see if this is what it was gonna be. You know what I mean? Because I always say this, like, okay, you know, look, I had a lot of decision fights my first 10 fights, and some of those fights were really close. You know, and I think about it, I'm like, what if those decisions didn't go my way? What if I would have been 5-5 at one point, not 7-3? You know what I mean? You know, I could have been 5-5 and not 7-3. That 7-3, then I went out to 10-3 and made it to UFC. But before the 7-3, what if the 7-3 I would have picked up 2L? Like, now from the 7-3 to the 10-3, I went by knockouts, so you can't say nothing there.
I feel like you
but I'm just talking about, like,
definitely turned a
but
corner.
I had a couple of, like I said, I had 10 decision fights, and some of them even I had, you know, people that criticized and said, you know, I think you lost the fight. Look, I one thing I don't mind.
I don't know any fights that you. I don't think.
No,
I
yeah,
didn't see
no,
no
I
fights
could
that
see-
I thought
I
you
could see-
lost.
I could
Maybe
see
you're
why.
Listen, maybe not the most entertaining, but I didn't see no. Like,
No, I'll say, like, you know, when I fought Justin Steve was a very close fight.
I don't remember that one. I didn't see this.
Yeah,
one.
I
My bad.
remember-
I don't remember just is that fight time like when
No,
I was
that
already in
the
Thailand,
my
like
first
in the beginning.
that was my first CFA fight. That was when I was in the tournament.
Oh, it was close.
It was close. You see what I mean?
That's right.
And then
I don't remember. You were in the tournament. I didn't give a
I know
fuck.
what
You're
you
right,
mean.
though.
I know
I'm
you-
mad biased. I just see my boy fight.
Yeah,
You don't care. You see him
and
get
then
their
when I
ass.
fought, I think I came out from a long layoff. I was like a year and a half layoff. I haven't fought in a year and a half, and I fought Anderson Hutchinson for HOF. It was a very close fight too. That could have really gone. the
Nah, I
other
went to
way.
that fight. I thought you won.
No,
That
no,
was a short
I
fight.
know what you mean, but what I'm just trying to say is that when it's close fights, it's all about the judge now.
Or you
so what I'm
feel-
saying is different if you dominate these decisions,
Yeah.
which I did a lot of them, but some of them I didn't, and it was really, like I say, it's like, you know, you're 29-28, blue corner, 29-28, record, and when you're in that moment, you're like, please, 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 and they call your name, is dope, but they could have called the other guy. And then what I'm saying is, like, you could have been, you know, your record could have been different. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That's how crazy the sport is.
And,
You know what I mean?
and the pay is different, bro. It could have been half. You know?
Exactly. No, like I said, to me is what I was trying to say is, like, this is how hard this sport is. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a crazy sport.
as I and like
And
I
the
said,
judges, dog.
the reason I just feel like sometimes you know, and we go back to what I talked about earlier. Remember we talking about, or I was talking about body language and showing that you're okay. That's one thing I always done in all my fights. I always shown that this is part of the game. Like, even if you hit me,
and
even if you hit me, it's like I allowed you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like oh yeah, you kill me because I did. Not because you caught me. You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I just
there's a
feel
lot
like
of body,
judges
there's a
sees
lot
that
of-
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. This is something that that's true, bro. There's one of the things I learned a lot from. Yeah, like tempo and like your poker face and like being able to keep that pressure and like even when you're getting hit, being able to like it doesn't matter, you know, like that works a lot. It works on everything, you know, like the body language, you know. That's one of the things you gain from experience, though, right? Like the more experience you gain, the more body
Yeah.
language, and the more you can feel like you pick it up. And now you know, like now looking back from all the things from the last. What 15, 16 fights now?
I got 17 fights. and I got-
17 fights.
I'm actually going for my 18 pretty soon.
There you go. And look, going into the next 17 now, look at all the data you have now, like
yeah.
and all the shit. Like, yo, now like we're
I was-
never gonna
I-
show that. I know what you mean with that body motion, dog. Like, and it's something like yeah, and then you learn it from training and from fighting, and like it's huge. It's huge. Momentum, everything. And because the guy could be defeated and tired, and the minute he sees like you show like a body shot hurt or something, and he just pounds like try to take advantage.
You could be very tired, and if you show some type of weaknesses, it'll give me a boost of energy for me to go out there and finish you. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you could have been tired, but or you're tired and you swing and you drop them. You're like, whoa! It wakes you up. It's like,
And then you
like,
whack,
like a shot of
yeah.
adrenaline just hit you,
I
and
felt
then
like,
you go try to finish them. But if you don't, then it's a huge dump of energy again. You know what I mean? It's like,
Crazy how that works,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's crazy.
And you're like, oh shit, I'm back to it. And
yeah.
I feel like that always happens in the first minute of in the first minute in a fight, like when a guy's kind of gassed, like he always like in the first minute of the 5 minutes, he goes crazy for like a minute. You're like, oh shit, he's back, and then he tries to finish the guy, and then he gets tired again, and then like he just loses. You know, you're like, like you always have that
Yeah.
last. Oh, that's crazy, right? That's a different little thing there, you know, like yeah, man. Like showing the body language is huge, man. It's huge, and something that you can only gain from really experience too.
But that's why when I was going back to like when I was talking about my decision wins, I feel like a lot of times I edged them because I sold it. And especially as soon as I always say this, as soon as you're done in a close fight, raise your hands. Let the judges know I want this fight, because I seen it happen where the guy, when you're in a close fight, you really don't know if you're winning or you're losing. You don't know. It's a close fight. So just because this is what happens a lot. I seen because I seen thousands of fights already through all my years, and I seen when a guy dominates most of the time. Let's say he's 3-0 and he's been dominating, and then his fourth fight he gets challenged, and it's a close fight. Since he's so used to dominating, when he doesn't dominate a fight, he think he lost. And you haven't lost. You actually are a winner of a close fight. But what happens is that he goes and he walks back to his corner after the third round with his head down and walking like he's defeated, while the other guy's raising his hands. And we have great judges, but we have trash judges too.
I don't know about great judges. I don't know about great judges.
There are some great judges out there.
I don't know about judges.
I'm not gonna, I have agreed with a lot of. I don't want to diss all the judges because I do believe there's great ones out there.
There's great judges. It's a hard ass job. I wouldn't be able to be a judge for my ADT.
But I'll say it's a 20%.
When
I'm talking about judges, great judges is 20% out there.
It's so bad.
The other 80% are trash.
We got a big problem MMA,
trash.
dog. We got a huge problem MMA. We got a big problem in the judging and the refereeing. The referees are clowns. You get people. You still see guys getting stood up from out right now all over the world.
Bro, I saw that recently.
You saw this recently? I will fight a motherfucker, dog.
You think
this is crazy shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, standing up from out, bro.
On my phone, it was this. I don't know where it was, what country or where was it, but it looked like a good promotion because of the quality of the production, and the guy was mounted, and he was trying to put him in an Americana from the mount, and then they stopped it. And when they stopped it, the other guy comes, throws a head kick, and knocks the other guy out.
You're still doing this shit.
And I'm like, bro, this guy would have never head kicked this guy if you would have stand this up. And I have a problem with that. Like, there's promotions out there that are, doing that kind of stuff. Telling the referees to stand it up if it's too boring on the ground. That's not right. Look. If nothing's happening, I get it. But if you're mounted, your back is taken on a body lock, anything like that, bro, you can't stop that fight.
Oh, I saw
you
a
can't
body
stop
lock.
that fight.
I saw a body lock get taken off.
I think in one of those recently local promotions, it happened where I saw a body lock being taken off. Like the person had to get off the back, and I'm like, what are you doing? You don't people getting taking off good positions on the ground to fight back up so you could see some slugfest or someone get knocked out. That's not right because it's called MMA. So you have to respect the ground. You have to let that still, show what it is, And people are doing that too much right now. Like a lot of promotions are, of course, not the big promotions are not doing that. It's just the smaller promotions are kind of like telling, I don't know, but I'm not, it sounds like like if I know something, but I don't. It's starting to see like a little pattern there, like when you can't stand it up from good positions from the ground. You can't do that.
They're still doing it. They're still doing it, bro. It's crazy.
And the thing is, the reason I say sometimes it's the promotion because I see sometimes the same promotion going through the same thing, or it's either the refs but the refs goes anywhere. The refs don't work for a promotion. The refs work for any promotion. They work for the commission. So why is these promotions that has these kind of iffy moments? You know what I mean? So that's why I say sometimes maybe it's the promotion, not really the refs. But I mean, I seen some bad refs anyway. So no, it's just, But I will say something. I respect the job of the ref more than I think the judge is different because the judge. Okay, first of all,
the referee's big because you could die. You could die.
Because it's a hard job.
It's a hard ass job.
I feel like being in the same cage. Look, I've been in the same cage and just walk around and keep everything right and get in at the right time and make the right stoppage without making a mistake. That's not gonna be easy.
Oh, and not get in the way. Like sometimes they fall
or not
on
make
you.
the fault mad call. What if he kicks you below above the bell and you think it's a nut shot and it was not a nut shot and it messes up the momentum of the fight? Like this could be so like.
Have you ever refereed?
No, I never refereed, and that's what I'm saying. I respect a lot that job. A judge is different to me. The only reason I say a judge is different to me is because you get to sit back and just watch from the outside. You get more of a clean look of who's a winner, who's not. But the difference is that, and this is where I say the judges, I give them more of a hard time because they're not qualified to judge an MMA fight. some referees have been before some type of competitors. So I don't mind when they come in to being a referee, but I don't like referees that have no understanding of the fight game.
How many referees?
And judges with no understanding of the fight game.
And how many are there? Most of them haven't fought.
But there's more referees that actually have experience, that train, than what they are judges.
But there's some referees that they never done jiu-jitsu, and it's crazy that it's crazy that you're stopping a choke when you don't even know what the choke is. It's maddening to me. And then the fact that like this, but think about how young the sport is, bro. Like even football's been like 50 years. They have like so many years of refereeing.
Look, I just don't understand. And
it's crazy, dog. How could you even? And here's another one. My bad to interrupt you. Right, here's another one. Go for it. How could you even apply for that job and be like, I'll do this, and you never did this? You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't you even like? With all my experience, like, I would be nervous to referee a fight, and I've been fucking fighting for 15 years, and I'm still like, damn, am I qualified for this? You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers.
Like if you tell me, Danny, go be an assistant coach for the Miami Heat, I'll be like, all right, that's cool, but what am I gonna write down when I have like Jimmy Butler and Bam? Like, okay, coach, what should we do? I'll be like, okay, just shoot some threes, bro. Make some do some screens.
I guess you're gonna take the job. You're never gonna turn the job down. But
man,
I don't even know how they got in the field.
But this is a different game, man. This is a different game. This is someone's health and life on the line.
Your life's on the line,
when
dog.
I say life, thank God this sport has not really killed people like that.
It has, dog.
No, but
in ONE FC, somebody died cutting weight.
Yeah, but
there's been shows where people die.
Cutting weight. Yeah. But what I'm saying is like what it still does, no matter what.
I haven't seen nobody get like knocked out and wake up in UFC. Which fuck.
But what I do believe is like in the long run, if you have like a, kind of like a damaged career, like you say, you got knocked out a couple of times and you got hurt through training and stuff. Yeah, but by the time you hit your 50s, you're like a little broken, maybe. You know what I mean? Unless you're very professional and you kept your body healthy or stuff. Whatever, but regardless, you're not playing basketball. You're not playing. You're getting kicked and punched in the face and taken down and slammed and putting you in chokes, all types of chokes. You know how many chokes? I mean, think about it. How many times have you ever been choked out?
Have you ever? How many times have you been put to sleep? I've been put to sleep like fucking 10 times.
I never been put to sleep. Oh, I was actually my last fight. Never put to sleep? My last fight I put to sleep.
No, I'm talking about from a choke.
Oh, choke? No, never. But I'm saying, but like regardless, having your lights out for whatever reason, choke or not choke.
I've been dropped. I've been choked. Yeah, dog.
You know what I mean? So
that's all time. That's all fucking time off our life, bro.
Exactly. So so it's a dangerous sport for you to have just somebody just put their fingers in fighters' careers, like what I mean.
Let me get to talk about a dangerous sport, and I know
you made me look that way. I'm like,
what happened? You got me mad.
You went like this. I'm like, what happened?
Talking about a dangerous sport. One of the things that's been like my pet peeve lately, since I've been like that I've been noticing is coaches who've never fought. Talk about referees and judges that never fought.
Bro.
What do you think about coaches that have never fought, taking athletes and making them cut weight and holding pads and booking them for fights? Like, how crazy is that? And how crazy is it? Or is it common? How many sports is there so many coaches where there's like more coaches that have no experience and taking care of fighters?
Have
you seen this a lot? Is it me or what?
I recently was watching a debate show between like one of those debate shows. I think it was First Take, and it was Stephen A. Smith backing up. Somebody was talking bad about like a coach, whatever. Somebody that didn't have experience. So it was something about coaching that having experience. And he's like, well, how many great coaches didn't have experience at a high level in basketball and they became great coaches? And I'm like, yes, but this is basketball. What I'm trying to say is like you don't really...
you don't play fighting.
No, exactly. And what I'm saying is like these athletes were already made who they were. Some coaches who could come in and like... A lot of these athletes, like they get help, for example, like, LeBron's 3-point shooting, he had to go to a coach that knows about shooting and actually was a good shooter. Like that's how it goes. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, but that's a different sport. I'm like, and plus in basketball you could like just come in. Look, you could come in.
You can devise plays.
You could come in and be smart. And
the brains guy.
Be brains. But you can never come and tell the guy. There's gonna be moments in a game where you don't have the experience to come and tell the player or understand what the player is going through at that exact moment at this exact time.
Yeah, word.
So you may actually say the wrong thing or make the wrong play because you're thinking this is the right play because they just, just by calculation makes sense. You don't know by experience if it makes sense. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. You could be such a big fan of MMA and be such a fan, and you would think, okay, I see a striker. Oh, take him down. He has no ground. Let's say he doesn't have a ground. But how are you gonna take him down? There's ways of taking him down.
You gotta set him up.
How does your guy? I cannot tell my student to take him down my way only. It has to be. Let me see what takedowns does he like the most, and which one of those takedowns is very effective against this guy. It's just there's so much to it, and I see so much. What you just say, where you got these people, maybe amateur or maybe a little small pro record, and then they have money to build a gym. And or it's like those guys that lift weights and they all of a sudden have money and they build a CrossFit gym. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I'm like,
they build where the money's at. And they want to be involved.
I get it. You have the body that looks athletic. You look at CrossFit. You got but do you understand the workouts you're doing and you do know when and when not to do them? Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, are you really are you knowledgeable and educated in this, or you just the guy, like the athlete? You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like it's completely when I started coaching, it was different than when I was actually just a student of the game. You know what I mean? When I was just a student of the game, I was just observing. But when I started coaching, I had to now break down
systems,
and like it was different. It was just different.
You don't know sometimes why you do things. When you explain to people things that you've been told to do, and then you know to do them. But then like when you're teaching, and you're like, oh, then you're gonna show people like,
and you see more detailed stuff, and you. Like I said, it's just different. It's different when you're a student of the game than when you actually now you explain people what to do. You that's why I always say that coaching, when I do that, coaching helped me a lot. Yeah. Coaching helped me a lot because for so many years I was just learning. But then when I started kind of coaching a small group of fighters, I actually started explaining the moves, explaining to them how to think in these situations and stuff. And I was like, whoa, wow.
Things like body language.
And I'll be honest too, at the beginning of me coaching, I wasn't that good. I was, because I didn't know how to coach. You have to learn how to coach, and it goes to experience. My first experience is I used to be more of a cheerleading there. You're just like, oh, do this, do that. You're telling him what you're supposed to do, but you're not saying it with technique. You'll be telling the person, oh, get up. You need to do this. Oh, you need to take him down. Yes, we know we got to take him down, but tell him to set up the single. Tell him to set up the high crotch. You know what I mean? Whatever. I didn't know how to explain those things because I'm getting caught up in the moment coaching. It's my first times, and I'm emotional too. I'm very invested with my peoples. So when I'm coaching, I'm very invested there. So I got emotional. Then when I started a small group of fighters and started coaching them in the amateur level, it was even more, But then I got even better, and now I literally and I always say this: a coach's job is always preparing him for that fight. Without, you're supposed to prepare your fighters for the fight, if in case they don't hear nothing I say for the next rounds.
For sure.
Because if everybody's getting loud, you're trying to say instructions, nobody's really hearing you.
Autopilot.
It's hard to hear your corner when people are screaming, let's go, everybody's going crazy. So you already trained the guy to beat this guy stylistically because you already had it trained to doing repetitions of certain situations that are going to happen in this fight. You know what I mean? So you already got him prepared for that. So in case he don't hear you, it don't matter. You got him ready. You already trained him for that. That's his job. My job is not to what's it called? Do just my best there, telling him what, like a remote. He's not a remote control. I'm not a remote control. He's not the video game.
You have him prepared for any situation when he's scrap. Like you don't want to have him like playing.
Or whatever.
Yeah, like video one. Like he's playing the game and you're controlling.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not like that. It's hard to do it like that. But
it could be like that. It could be like that when you guys are on the same level and you say like, "Yo, slip," and then like, but you want him prepared. Are you trying to say like you want him prepared for like meaning that even if he can't hear you, if it's all craziness, like he knows what to do. He's going to be ready for any situation.
You already know what to do because I train him for that.
Yeah.
And I train him for this specific fight like that because I assume this is the positions that the good and bad positions he may be in this fight. The good ones so we could take advantage of these situations, and the bad ones so we could get out of them in case we're in it. You know what I mean? That's how you do it. But not everybody has that kind of knowledge in this game because, like I said, you have a lot of coaches out there. They're just not good. They're just not good coaches. And
no experience.
And I say this. Look, I met coaches where, I met, but I've seen where their student is just a good athlete and a good, he's talented, that he surpasses the coaches. He already surpassed the coach's ability to make him evolve. Because the coach doesn't really have that much technique and that much.
Yeah, that's going to happen at almost all levels, though. That's going to happen at every level. Even at the highest level, that happens,
No.
You outgrow your gym or whatever.
No. But hold on. But you have to understand, like, outgrow your gym, that's like a little too much to me. Because at the end of the day, like, when you're a proven gym that has had grades, then you're not really outgrowing your gym. There's many grades before there. You know what I mean? But if you're the only grade that gym has ever had in the past 20 years, it's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So you technically did outgrow your gym.
Yeah.
But because
it's weird. Yeah,
likely,
it's not always like that.
Because most likely that happens in small gyms. Because there's that one big talented guy, and then he moves to a big gym, and they lose that main fighter.
That's usually how it goes.
That's usually how it goes. But that's why. But normally that's.
You've been at a gym that.
But why does it happen? Because the coach didn't get to build more than one great guy, so he could keep them around with a bigger group, nice group of guys. Look, I'm gonna tell you this: a great coach is not a guy that makes one great fighter. You gotta make great fighters. If you make one great fighter, that might just be the fighter that actually is making you look good. That one talented guy that you have that makes you look good. But when you got great fighters, oh no, you have some influence into this. You're not 100%. Because at the end of the day, you gotta give everything to the athlete. At the end of the day, it's kind of like saying like, who's the responsible of the championships of the Patriots? Bill Belichick or Tom Brady? No, you gotta give it to Tom Brady more. He's a player. But the coach, you gotta give it to the coach the other credit, like 70-30. You know,
a good coach can make anybody great.
Yes, but like I said, you gotta have how can I say? A good coach can make anybody great, right?
That's the goal, right? Like a good coach can make anybody great, but at
the same time, like,
if you get stuck with one guy,
but you I think all great coaches as well has had talented guys. That's what makes them look good too. Because show me a great coach that really had a very low IQ and low athletic fighter with them. Like a lot of great coaches had great fighters too. You know what I mean? So it has to go. It works both ways. Now, a great coach could maximize someone's potential, like because not all fighters are the same. You've seen some very unathletic fighters.
Well, there you go. A great coach can make
very unathletic, unathletic, and like hard, and like they're slow to learn. You're like, God damn, this guy's slow to learn, but they train hard every day. Exactly, you know what I mean? But that coach could just get the best of that person.
Utilize the best and make that guy better than all the other guys.
But I always say, like, most of the great coaches out there, you look at their fighters and they were great fighters too. You know what I mean? So it goes. Now, no matter what, to make that great fighter and control and keep him in the right tracks is the hard part as a coach too. Keep that guy in the right track. Like, look what happened with Mike Tyson with Castamaro. When Castamaro passed away, Mike Tyson went. He was on his own now. He didn't have a parent. He didn't have like that coach that tells you, yo, no, get ready for this fight. Yo, don't get distracted.
Off the chain.
Yo, don't do this. Because that's what a coach does too. It's not just technique.
Somebody who makes you feel accountable. Like you want to have somebody.
You have to.
Somebody that you're like afraid of. Like you want to. I
always
think.
Not afraid.
No. Yeah. Well, everybody's different.
My guys ain't afraid of. All
right. Somebody you don't want to fail. Somebody that you're afraid to fail of. That you rather die. Somebody that you'll die.
I want
you
to be afraid,
die.
but they ain't afraid.
No, bro. Somebody that you want to like. Somebody that you don't want to let down, bro. Like you don't want to let them down.
Yeah.
You'd rather die in front of them than lose. You know what I'm saying?
It's just somebody. It's just respect. It's
respect.
Respect is everything. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Hey, you want somebody you'll die for, dog.
Many people could love you, but if they don't respect you, who cares? I don't care if you love me. If you don't respect me, fuck off.
Everybody's different, yo. Some guys.
No, that's just how it goes.
Yeah. And like everybody's different, yo. Like some guys, like they don't. It doesn't matter who corners them. They could just fight. Some guys like to have like their coaches. Some people don't care. They can just go and bound and just get it done.
I'll be honest.
And some people like have their coach or some people like to have like a family member, not even their coach. Like somebody that makes them feel comfortable. I
don't like that. I don't like family members. I don't like that. I've never been.
Or like big on having
when I go into a
different
fight, I don't like this lovey-dovey attitude. You know what I mean? I don't mind it way before the fight. If
Why?
you want to, it's like I just when I'm going to a fight, it's such a serious thing that I guess like my I want everything to me is like from there on. I'm like very like tough and rough about everything. I mean, I just don't. I don't like my family trying to hug me and I don't know. I don't like mailing me myself down. I don't like mailing down.
You don't want your girlfriend cornering
No,
you,
hell
kissing
no.
you before you fight? That shit don't get you hyped.
No, man, that's just trash.
Like, let's get this shit, dog.
Nah, man, I think you should, give her a kiss before you go to the arena, and then after the arena we celebrate. But
Like the
right
fight-
before I walk into the cage, I just feel it's gonna mellow me down.
It's war, dog.
You
I
what
know what you're
Exactly.
saying.
Like, some people bring their kids. I don't mind bringing the kids, but I'm talking about like they kiss their kids right before they go out of to the cage, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like that will bring me. I don't want my family around me. I don't want loved ones around me like that. I like me and my soldiers.
Me too. Yeah, it's
always
war. Me too.
It's
Like,
me and my
it's
soldiers.
time for fucking war,
Yeah,
dog.
it's
Yeah,
time
I like
for war.
that too.
It's me and my soldiers and nobody else. I feel like when I bring my loved ones, it may bring me down just a little bit. And this is a game of edging. Whoever edges more, and.
Yeah, it'll definitely motivate me. Like if I see them like from afar, if I know they're there.
Yeah, no,
that's
I know.
great.
My family's always there.
I don't want to be
all
like.
my loved ones are there. They're there on the arena. I don't have a problem with that. It's just
But I don't wanna
that
be back
close.
there
Like
hanging
not in
out.
the locker room, not in the
nah.
walkout. Like those moments, it's just me and my
business.
soldier because it's just business.
business.
I take it very serious like that. Hey, some guys could do it the other way. Hey, I think everybody is okay. I think look, this is my thing. As a coach, I feel like. Once you learn how to fight, once you're really a professional fighter and you fight in nice main events, big stage, or a nice little title, like you already have a nice experience, I think you're okay to kind of do kind of like what you want to do, how you want to come out. You want to come out dancing around or whatever. I don't mind that. But I don't like people that do it too early because I feel like you're doing it for the camera. Don't do things for the camera. Focus on your fight.
Oh yeah, like a guy who's got a nickname, or like a guy who's like this thing before you're like, yo, you don't even know who you like. He's
No.
like,
It's more like a guy that
the bone crusher, and you're like, yo, you're one in, like you're.
No. You could be the bone crusher, but if he comes out with like a goddamn hammer and a costume, and he's trying to fight, I'm not even be right next to you to corner you. I'll be like, bro, get out of here. You know what I mean? Because why? Because you haven't even earned the right to. You haven't learned how. You don't know how to fight yet. You're learning how to fight. And you're already trying to entertain the crowd, entertain this, bro. Become an entertainer after you learn how to fight.
Of course.
I feel like when you're trying to become an entertainer before you learn how to fight, that's when you lose.
You got your priorities fucked up.
Exactly. That's always been my thing about that. You know what I mean? So some people do that. Some people want to entertain before they learn how to fight. Like you gotta like learn how to fight first. Then you could have your swag, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to dress, however you want to do anything. I don't really care. Sorry.
Don't let it go out. Hey, this will bring us into our next thing I want to actually ask you about, because like we've been training for a long time now. I started training in 2009. You started training like 2005. You said 2006.
6, yeah.
So we're like talking about like 10 plus years in the game. Both of us, two veterans, are like over 10,000 hours for sure. Mm-hmm. And I've seen the game change a lot. I remember but I'm starting to like. It's like, tell me, have you noticed the difference since like the Conor McGregor era? Like how the shit's changed? Like how. Remember when we first started training, like it was a little bit more niche, like you were saying, like you had to like, it wasn't like in your face everywhere on ESPN.
Well, no. The thing is,
do you miss the good old days of like how training was and fighting was with like fighters where like now?
Well, the thing is, social media played a part.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's like trying to like, how do you like this new game that's like it's evolved into? Like, where the respect is gone. People are talking shit about their families. They're like, oh,
but that's what's been in the fight game. Mike Tyson was telling me he would eat his kids, and in the 90s.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean? Mike Tyson was talking about eating people's kids.
Now everybody's like wants to make. Now we're like, we live in the meme game now. Everybody wants to make.
No, I get that. No, we live in a we live
calling you out and like screenshots and shit. We live in a screenshot era,
No, but we live in an era where people
fighting,
have more of an opinion because they could deliver it. Like before, if you're not a journalist, your opinion, nobody even, there was no way for you to get your opinion across about an athlete. Now you could just comment to his page, comment about anything. Yeah. You could just put a comment. You could make a meme, and if your meme is actually very, very funny, you're gonna get a lot of views to it. And like, I get it. We live in a different era where people are just so much more free to get attention or whatever they say. You know what I mean? So. They could go out there and say whatever they want to say, and when I say free, like there's no consequences. You know
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
No
dog. That's
consequences.
what I'm saying.
Because
You
I
can
feel
say
like-
whatever you want
Yeah,
online.
online
and
and
then
no
there's never
consequences.
consequences.
Which
You can
is
hide
what it
behind a
is.
fake screen name. You can say whatever
But
you
you have-
want.
that's what
but
you
in real life,
ignore.
ain't
That's what
nobody
you-
saying that to you.
But that's what you
Nobody's
ignore.
rolling up to your gym.
course
You know what
not.
I'm saying?
Of course
Nobody's
not.
doing the work, dog. They're just
Of course
they're
not.
playing this image, you know, and it's like
But I do say that we live in an era that's the most talented era.
it's the most talented, but
It's
it's
the most
also the most
talented
clout chasing.
It's
you
a
know,
very
too.
cloud chaser, but at the same time, is you know, is the era where so many people are trying the sport, and I think like half of like okay, when you first started MMA, you had about one or few, you know, weak links in your gym. You just knew, like he's one of the weak links of the gym, but most of them were real fighters. Guys that train and you know were very professional about it. It was all about training. It was and there were real dogs in the fight. You know what I mean? And nowadays, like you know, you have a lot of guys trying this out, so you get to see even more weaklings sometimes, and a lot of great fighters too. But you see more weaklings too. You know, that's what it is. It's so popular now compared to before that, and it's so popular now that even people that don't even need to do it, do it.
Mark
I want to be a
Zuckerberg.
fighter, and I'm like, you could go to college. You know what I mean, I wanted to be a fighter because we're talking about 2006 when it first blew up, and I was a dropout, and I had nothing going on in my life, and I said, let's fight. You know what I mean? But you have a lot of guys that you know they don't really have to do this, but they want to do it because it looks cool, because they play Undisputed in their little video games, and they think they could do it, or because they hear their friends doing it and they want to do it too. Or it's just very popular and they want to do it. You know, but and then they say no to college, or whatever, and they're trying to do it and they realize it's not for me, and they move on. And some of them, they actually are very good. Look, man, some people are really good, and they were not like you know, they were not supposed to be in this position. They were supposed to be in college getting great degrees because they were smart. But guess what? They decided to be fighters and they became great fighters too. So, but I just say it's so popular now that you get to see a lot of like, you know, a lot of people trying it out, but then you see a lot of like phony people, period. Phony, and a lot of people are just cloud chasing, using the sport to cloud chase, to just kind of like pretend they're gonna fight, but they don't fight. I seen people post training like they train like about to fight for years, and it's like, okay, you only have like 1 or 2 fights, and it's like been 5 years,
yo?
5 years of you always shadow boxing and showing videos and showing this,
Or
but
hitting
you only
pads.
have like 2 fights, man. Like, come on, man. Like, hitting pads like
and
a
they
bunch
look
of times.
good, and then with the ones that look so good hitting pads, like the hit pads perfect, but you're like, yo, all right, dog, you're a professional pad hitter.
You're a
Like,
gym
what are you, a
warrior.
black belt in the
You're
pads?
a gym warrior. You know what I
Like,
mean?
how does that even work, right? That's
Yeah.
funny.
So that's what happens nowadays.
They'd be like, they practice like a spinning kick
this
on the
is
back.
the most talented era.
Super talented. Now we're in an
The
era
most
where
talented era and the most, I'll say something, the most athletic era.
everybody knows how to. Yeah,
There's
you got
amazing athletes.
kids that are 5, 6 years old and they could have done anything. Now they're doing jiu-jitsu. They're and some people are just sticking to jiu-jitsu. So it's it's great.
Yeah.
Oh, what's great is it's mainstream and we're making money, dog. And
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
and yo, 35 now, dog. I don't know how many years I got in fighting MMA, but now I can just jump in jiu-jitsu, dog. We can fucking jiu-jitsu, dog.
yeah.
Get on some TRT, dog, in the bone
No.
fiber. I'm gonna join ADC,
I
dog,
don't
and
do
kill
T-
all those guys,
You guys
dog.
don't listen to him. I don't do any of that
Yo,
stuff.
yeah, don't worry, dog. But listen, bro. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in Abu Dhabi, dog, let me tell you right now, bro. Gordon Ryan, all those guys ain't got a chance, dog. I'm gonna get on there.
No, man,
look.
not TRT for me.
But what's it called? Now we live in a good era now where jiu-jitsu is making man bread. Everybody's fucking doing good. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be doing combat jiu-jitsu, you can be doing sport jiu-jitsu, making money, doing DVDs, teaching. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can have a YouTube era. So it's got a lot of good things, man.
No, the good thing is, like I said, it's just now you're more free to express yourself and just have like I said, is we live in an era of attention. Everybody okay, let me just say attention, validation. Everybody wants to be validated. Everybody wants to be approved by everybody. Like okay, you remember when you were little? One of the first things that used to always tell me, like, don't worry about anybody thinks, or don't worry about it, because you know when you're a kid. Or, you know, when I was a kid, like, my mom would be like, oh, no le importa lo que diga la gente. You know, because, like, normally, like, your friends would be like, oh, you want to do something bad with your friends, and they'd be like, oh, why? You scared? And you'd be like, no, I'm not scared. You know, and then you go and, like, get in trouble. So my mom would be like, no le importa lo que diga la gente.
Doesn't matter what they think.
But I'll be like, I don't want to think I was scared. You know what I mean? But it's just true. It's just because you care about what people think. And it's like, no, you're not supposed to care what people think. But we live in an era where people really do. And especially on social media. I'm just like
Everybody's trying to be cool, dog.
Not only cool, funny, and everybody just wants to get views and likes. Everybody just wants to be popular. Everybody wants to be popular. Everybody wants to be popular,
and including me too. I'm sure everybody.
No, you want to, but like there's an extreme to it. I do it in a professional level. I do it in my career. Yeah, I don't go out there and be posting my personal lives and stuff like that. It's just crazy.
You want to like. I don't make
money about my personal life. You know what I mean? I don't make money about my personal life.
But you're chasing greatness, so you're trying to do it in a different way. You're trying to achieve greatness, and through achieving greatness,
you trying to market a little bit my career, but I use my career as my like it's like look what Michael Jordan used to always say. If I would have focused on marketing the Nike shoes, but I would have been averaging 13 points a game and 5 rebounds and 3 assists, it never would have been what it is. What I did, I focused on my game, and I was averaging 30 points a game. 9 rebounds and 5 assists, and I won 6 championships.
Yeah, you're chasing greatness, and they're trying to achieve that at the same time. It's a different type of, instead of just trying to achieve it for no reason.
Some people do the opposite way. They want to become so much famous before they focus on their game. I try to let my game speak for itself in that sense. But I do go out of my ways and try to sometimes make a little videos, you want to market yourself. You do need to know how to play that game, but I don't make that priority over me being a great fighter, because you don't win fights, you don't get to the big leagues. Who cares how much you were looking good in those mitts or looking good in this video? And,
people now do it. People just some people do it. Some people get the fame and recognition from doing the thing, and then some people do the thing to get the fame and the recognition, and that's where you kind of get exposed. Because if you're doing that for the fame and recognition, this is the wrong sport. It's a lot of pain. It's too much pain and hiccups, and your life's on the line. Cutting weight. It's too many bad paydays to be in it for the fame and glory, but we live in that era now where, oh, look at that. Yeah, we live in the era now where it's, dog. See, before you fight, you better sell tickets, dog. You know what I'm saying? Combat night, you better sell tickets.
I don't sell tickets anymore.
Facebook.
I haven't sold tickets in 2 years.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, but I'm saying, but to get recognition, to fight, remember there was a time when we trained when there was no photo after training. Yeah. But now guys go to training just for the photo.
Yeah, exactly. Some people, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, some people just
rolling with the girls. They roll with girls, go with the girls in the 125ers for fucking 10 rounds. You're like, yo, what the fuck? And then they jump in the picture like, yo, hard training team.
Hard training team.
For who? Yeah. You're on the map. What were you doing, dog?
Yeah. I know what you mean, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
and then you got the grinders out there that are getting after it. You know what I'm saying?
Those are the ones that are succeeding. I mean, it's like you can only fake it to. You know when they say that? You know when they say fake it till you make it? You don't make it like that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You got to fake it till you make it, because yes, it
You
is.
can't fake it.
No, yes, it is.
Nah. There's certain things you can't fake.
You don't understand the concept. No, you're not.
Fighting,
you're not
you can't fake fighting.
No,
yes, you can.
You're not understanding.
How you fake fighting?
I'm not talking about fake fighting.
That's what I'm
you're
talking
taking
about.
too literal. You're not understanding.
No, but that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because you're taking the literal. Like fake it till you make it is like meaning that you don't got to be a way to act a way.
No, what I'm trying to say, you can't fake your you can't fake. Well,
that's not what fake it till you make it means. That's taking it literally.
If you fight a bunch of tomato,
that's not fake it till you make it.
Bro, what are you talking about?
Because you'll never make it. That's just faking it. Fake it till you make it is like you're not a champion, but you act like a champion, and you walk like a champion, and you talk like a champion, and you act like you're undefeated, and you eat like, and you're like, yo, why are you not gonna drink tonight? Like, no, I can't. Why? Because I'm training.
But that's not fake it. That's confidence.
That's the saying, fake it till you make it. That's where confidence. It comes from, dog.
That's belief and confidence, and that's visualization.
Bro, fake it till you make it.
That's visualization.
No, I know what you're saying.
No, the fake it till you make it is really faking it.
No, man. Some people, fake it till you make it is a real saying. It's a popular saying, dog.
I know,
and it has a
really
purpose, though. It's not a.
I never really liked it.
Yeah, because you don't. I'm trying to explain to you what it means. That's what I'm saying. You're taking it too literal.
But people do it that way. But
that's just faking it. Because if you fake it to fake it, you're never gonna make it. But fake it till you make it is. You act like you made it until you made it. Like you gotta be a champion.
I know what you mean, but I'm trying to say that.
So make it is. That's what I'm just telling you.
I'm not going with that. What I'm trying to say is like don't. But
I know you're not going with that. But
I'm going with the literal meaning. The literal meaning to it. Like
yeah, but the literal meaning is not the literal meaning.
Yeah, but you know how people always talk like that in the streets.
All right, but that's what they're supposed. But they say if they say fake it till you make it.
But when you say it in the streets, when you see somebody that's good at something but doesn't really have like a background or credit to it, you say fake it till you make it. You know, like have you ever had a conditioning coach that it tells you what to do, but he doesn't really have like any degrees.
I think that's
any degrees, but guess what? He does a great job, and then they use that word like, he fixes it to make it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's kind of.
Does he degree or does he know how to get?
But I'm saying, as a fighter, some people go based on that, so they go out there buy a bunch of tomato cans, build up their record.
Yeah, that's what boxers do. That's what everybody does.
But I never liked it because I feel like it's not real.
I know what
It's
you're
not real.
saying.
And now I say,
that's
I
not
always
fake it till
say
you make
that-
it the same.
But no, because the reason they use it like that is because they do, sometimes you do have talented guys that what you do is you build the record, but you know that they're so talented that they will make it. But they need to fake it from the beginning first. You know what I mean? Like they're not fighting they're fighting tomato cans. Look, what I'm trying to say is this. You got guys that need the real good experience to really win fights. You know what I'm trying to say? Like they really need to fight real fights before they get to the big. There's guys that are talented. Like, look, do you ever seen Khabib's record before he got to the UFC? He didn't fight so many great guys. He didn't. But he was already, you knew he talented.
He was being built like a boxer. Well, boxers fight a lot of shitty guys in the beginning.
But
this is the problem with MMA.
But he
though.
did
This is
make
why
it.
MMA is
He
such a
did
young
make
sport.
it. Because
That's not
he's one of
fake
the
it till you
best.
make it. That's what I'm
But
saying.
but I'm trying to say,
That's what I'm
but
saying. He
that's how
wasn't
people
faking
take
it. He was
but-
just fighting the proper. He was
But
just
what I'm
doing the
trying to say
right
that
thing.
that's how people use that word literally. Like now, like nowadays, people do use it as like, it
Oh,
doesn't
people-
matter.
okay,
It doesn't matter how it looks, man. Like it's
People
like
say fake it till you make it, and they literally fake it.
exactly.
And then they don't
That's where
realize
I'm
that
going
that's
with
not
that.
what. Okay.
That's what I'm trying to go with that.
What I'm trying to say
Like
is that's.
saying, like,
But if I say fake
who
it till you
cares
make
about
it,
the-
I mean like that's.
Yeah.
This is what I mean.
I
by
know
it.
what you
Okay,
mean.
we're
I know
talking
what
about
the
two
meaning.
different
What I'm
things.
trying to say is like, what I'm
Are
trying
we
to say is
being
like
clear for
how
the people?
people
This
use
is
it
good.
nowadays. Fake it till you make it. It's like I hate the way they use it now.
Okay.
That's
So
what
you're
I keep
thinking
saying
the
it.
new era of gender. All right, but
Yes.
Okay, so some people when they say fake it till you make it, they think that's what it is, like just acting like a certain way, and then
trying to get the shortcut by faking. I mean, like, but you're never gonna make it by being the fake. And I know what you're saying.
All right, anyways, my
I
bad.
Know what
So
I know the one you're saying.
You know what I'm talking about,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So because I hear people say fake it till you make it, but growing up, I was always thought like
No.
fake it till you make it means like you gotta like
Visualization. I feel like visualization. That's what you're kind of saying, right?
Yeah,
Like, talk about it, walk about it. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Like what do they say? Like the champion wins the champion way before he gets into the ring. You know, like a guy like
exactly.
these guys, they win that title when they've been like Khabib. You know, when he was wrestling bears, he was fucking putting in the work for
Yes.
these fights.
Exactly.
You know, so like maybe he took a fight on short notice. He's like, oh, I'm not ready, but he'll be
It's
like,
kind of
yo,
like, you know how they say, like, you're not, kind of like nowadays, you know, what's it called? If you're not cheating, you ain't trying hard enough. Like, I hate
oh, if
that.
you're not cheating, you're not trying.
You know, like, I hate that word.
That's a
too.
bad one. That's a shitty
You know what
one.
I
That's a
mean?
bad
Yeah.
one. That's a good one. That's like, yeah, it's like, yo, motherfucker.
But I get it. You want to win so bad. It's like, but then it's like, if you're a real winner, you want to win so bad. But it's like, I get it, but I don't like the cheating part because then you're welcoming the PD users, and I'm like, no, that's really cheating. That's not that doesn't go with that quote. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm trying to say.
No.
Some people use certain quotes, and it's like, no, that's not like that. You're using it differently. Kind of like, oh, train hard, train smart, not hard. I'm like, bro, that is true. But some people use it for being lazy. Some people is to be lazy. You know what I'm talking about?
Of course. Sorry.
You do gotta train smart, not hard.
Train smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
But you have to train hard.
Yeah, you train hard. But you know, some people use it to be lazy. You know what I mean? And
It's funny how the
you see what I'm
lazy
saying?
guys always say
exactly.
that.
That's what I'm using. Like some people use the quotes the wrong way, and I look at them and I'm like, I hate that quote.
You know the lazy guys say it, but like, yeah, you don't want to hear athletes saying that. Like, if you have a coach, like, you have a fucking, like, if Valverde's telling you that, you're like, okay, maybe he knows what he's talking about. After 30 years,
I've been
you know?
told before, yo,
But you don't want,
look
like,
tired, go rest.
you don't want a
stuff like that.
26-year-old telling you to train harder, like, yo, perro, and you're like, yo, what are you talking about?
Smarter,
bro?
not harder. Yeah, I'll be like, man.
That's usually the guy that's like,
oh,
oh, I'm not feeling good today. I'm gonna take off from sparring. You know, like that shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
And then you
Exactly. And you know, he just being lazy, wants to be in his couch, or wants to be in his. Well, I say couch because I used to stay in the couch a lot. But no,
look-
I say he stays in his bed. He wants to.
But
be
this
in
will
his couch.
rewind it back, dog. Like, if they do that, though, when you do that, when you do fake it in the training and the shit, that's when that shit creeps up. When does it creep up in you?
Yeah,
On fight
but
day,
when you
you're in the
fight
locker
a
room,
real
dog.
fight,
When you're getting your hands wrapped and you're like, damn, did I miss that session that day? Fuck.
Yeah,
did
but
I
if you
do all
know,
the
but if you know
sessions?
across the cage, there's a guy that is like 1 in 10. Like you'll be good, because you know that guy's a proven loser. So that's what I'm trying to say. But then you eventually have to fight real fights eventually.
Yeah.
So it only works so far. It only works so much.
Yeah, and some guys they'll run.
But if you're very talented, you could actually do that. But I always say this, man. Look, the only people that get away with going and fighting tomato cans from early in the career, and then become, it's because you were actually very talented. You were just, they were really overprotecting you.
Or
but
nobody,
me personally,
or you couldn't fight nobody in your first 10 fights till you got to the UFC.
That's true.
I know guys who are like
That's
21
true.
and 0 amateur, and they can't get pro
But
fights.
sometimes, like I said, sometimes it's just the coaches think to overprotecting them, but sometimes it is a bad thing too, because you eventually, when you do get to the big leagues, you don't want to be facing those monsters without ever one time having to face and I don't mean you have to face a monster outside of a big league. What I'm trying to say is knowing was stacked against you.
Yeah.
Because you could, let's say I have a big fight. This guy is the biggest fight I'm gonna have, and I go and I beat him in 2 minutes, or I beat him in 1 minute. It's not about that I beat him. It's the fact that I knew I was fighting a really good guy. I knew I was walking in against a monster, and I had to train. And I know this monster is very professional, and he trains his ass off, and he does everything right to come out here and whoop my ass. But I got to whoop him. You see what I'm trying to say? Completely different. Completely different that you always walk into a fight knowing that, oh, this is cake, bro. This guy is 3-10. This guy is 0-5. This guy is, well, you're walking, I don't even feel, what is the sensation of lifting your hands?
What's the point of even fighting?
No, exactly. But then you build your record. I get that. I just feel like, do I want to put so much training camp into these fights where I'm literally just jabbing them and they fall down and I'm like, I just can't do it. But a lot of fighters do it. And in the boxing world, they do that boxing all the time.
If I was gonna start a guy up from real young, I would have his first 3 to 5 fights. Actually, nah, bro. But in MMA, because you can get to MMA,
you can make them fair. You can make them fair.
No, exactly.
You're 2-0, fight a 1-0 guy or a 0-0.
Yo, you're a blue belt. I'll have you fight a purple belt.
Yeah, exactly. But a blue belt too.
But I'm saying, if I want to test you, you're a good striker. I'm gonna put this guy up.
But you know what happens in grappling too, where people sandbag. People are you're doing
oh yeah.
You're doing intermediate and you should be doing advanced.
Yeah, that's
why you? Oh, because you want to keep winning intermediate. You want to keep being I have all these medals and. Or you get belts. A guy, bro. Just go to advance already. Start winning there. You're already ready to advance. But some people want to just stay stuck and feel like winners. It's like the amateurs that overstayed. I always say that, bro. What are you doing having 15, 20 amateur fights? You're sandbagging. You're not such a great amateur fighter no more. You're sandbagging because you're reaching your 15th fight, fighting a guy that's 3-0, fighting a guy that's 4-0. Your 15th fight, and you're 15-0 and 16-0, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Just go pro, but whatever. Everybody do what they want, but I just think amateurs, you should not go more than 5 to 10 fights. 5 to 10 fights is enough. Why? Anything after 10 fights as an amateur, you're sandbagging.
For sure.
And it depends your record.
I think too. 5 fights. I think 5 fights amateur. 5 fights is good.
If your record is 2-8 and then 10 fights, you should still. What was the name of that guy? You should still fight amateur until you get shit right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Guy, what was the name of that guy that we used to train? No, the guy that everybody. What was the name of that guy back in the day that everybody used to fight? Jason. What was the name of that guy?
No.
Everybody used to fight back in the day. Everybody had to win against him, dog.
Boomy.
I think so. From Miami, the Miami legend that everybody beat. If you were a pro in Miami and you were going to get your debut and you wanted to get your wheels geared wet,
yeah, it was.
He's going to give you a tough fight, but you should be.
It was a guy. I don't remember what his name was, but I think they called him Boomy. And it was a lot of a couple of his people that they used to take. No, what happened with them is that
we got any more of those guys around? No. I'm gonna need a few for my comeback, dog. I want to get a highlight reel going on my way out. You feel me?
They took a lot of short notice fights. That's what they do. They would call them in 3 days. They'd be like,
"You ready?
Go."
And then they're down.
They were down to fight. So that's crazy.
Yo, speaking of segue here, speaking of sandbagging, what do you think about next week's main event, dog? It's gonna be Khamzat versus Nate Diaz, bro.
Why you call it sandbagging? Who's sandbagging?
I don't know. What do you think?
Who's
you think that's a fucked up fight for Nate Diaz, or I'm just kidding. I'm just saying just a little segue, chicka into the UFCs. What are you thinking for Khamzat, Nate Diaz, dog? Before we wrap this puppy up, yo, we'll close out with some UFC and what's next for Perito.
I think, man, okay, my thing with Nate Diaz, everybody says don't count Nate Diaz out, and I don't count Nate Diaz out. He has a lot of experience, he's tough, all that stuff, and it's 5 rounds, so.
Oh, it's 5 rounds?
It's 5 rounds.
I didn't know that.
But.
Oh, that's right.
He's always not done well against wrestlers.
Oh my God.
And I don't mean a guy that used to wrestle. I know he beat up Gray Maynard, and Gray Maynard used to be a wrestler, but Gray Maynard used his hands. At one point,
bro. It's a little washed up.
No. At one point, Gray Maynard was the kind of guy that was, at one point, didn't use his wrestling anymore. He was just using his power and using striking. But most of the time, the people that really used their wrestling, and that was their main thing to win the fight, that they did beat Nate Diaz, like Ben Henderson, Roy McDonald, what's his other name? Hermes Frank. I remember Hermes Frank, I think, armbar him too, because Hermes Frank has to take him to the ground.
Nate Diaz lost to Ben Henderson, Rory McDonald.
Yeah.
Destroyed him at 170.
No, but there was somebody else.
Nate Diaz is not fight good at 170.
No, but it's not even at 170. It's just that the guys that don't want to stay striking and they just want to go to the ground and just kind of like hold in position. Yeah, but there was another one. I just can't
Rafael
think
Dos Anjos outstruck him.
Hold on, Rafael.
He hasn't lost to a wrestler in a long time. He's kind of past the wrestler stage. He doesn't really lose to
just fought Nate Diaz?
Yeah.
When was that?
Yeah, he fucked him up. I don't know.
What?
For some main event.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he fought. Yeah, Nate Diaz running in gray shorts. He leg kicked the shit out of him. Beat his ass.
Oh, you're right.
Smashed him.
He was kicking him a lot with a because he's yes. No, you're right, because they both saw. Yeah.
It's crazy.
I remember seeing him getting kicked a lot. Yeah,
the gray shorts.
But that's what I'm trying to say. So Kamsa's gonna come in and trying to wrestle.
But he's gonna be in,
You know what I mean? So I think like
as Nate Diaz is a little bit past, but that was back in the day, dog. Nate Diaz now is like, I think Nate Diaz is in that mode where like, I think like he's like that grappling, like where me and you too, bro. We're like, I'm not scared of no wrestler, dog. Like I've been training jiu-jitsu now so long that like I would wish, I hope a guy's a grappler.
Isn't it crazy that Nate Diaz
he's been training so long.
Leon Edwards and
bro,
that's what
I'm saying.
Like
dog.
he could have, if Nate Diaz would have not been taunting him and just gone for the finish, maybe he would have finished the guy that just finished.
What is
crazy,
wrong
right?
with?
But that's the MMA is.
Why did he do it? Yo, he's crazy. It's almost like they told him, "Don't win this fight." It's like I thought he had an earpiece. Like stop right now.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm like, what are you doing, bro? You're laughing. Yo, what the fuck? How long you been fighting?
Yeah, I know. But I think like Nate Diaz has reached a point that he just likes to fight and he just makes money. I think he's reached a point where he's like, you know, if a title's there, title's there. But he did fight for a title. He just didn't win it. You know what I mean? So to me, Nate Diaz already became a guy that, you know, he's a star. He has a lot of money and he just likes to fight because he likes to fight. He's a fighter. But I think like that whole thing, chasing a title, like to him is more like proving that he could beat. I think he's a little bit more into pride and ego.
He just
like
wants to fight.
Like he wants to look. I feel like he's the kind of guy that likes to spoil the party.
Yeah.
So I feel like he wants to be like beat up Chimaev and be like, you see, and then you know what he'll do? He'll beat up Chimaev and he will like leave.
Yes.
And then they'll be like, oh, but come on, you just beat Chimaev. You should be next in the title. He's like, no, I don't want to.
Who did he
beat? I don't care.
Oh,
no, they're not ready for me. Like he would do some stuff like that.
Who did he beat up? Remember when he took a long
Connor?
break? Oh no, Pettis. Remember he beat up Pettis?
Came back and took a
and then they were like, "You've been gone," and he's like, "Yeah, because these people suck." Like he literally didn't want to fight no wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like if you're a big name, but he did say, listen, Gilbert
But then he fought
Burns.
Masvidal after.
But he did say in his last interview, he was like, "Yo," he's like, "They wanted me to fight Kamsa." I said, "Man, have him fight somebody." They're like, "Yo, if he beat Gilbert Burns, call me up and I'll come get it."
And then he went. And then he did.
And
you
then
see?
he did it.
Man of his word.
I tell you what though, I saw Nate Diaz, dog. He's partying, bro. He looked a little soft. I saw him in Vegas. I was partying too though. We were at, when Alex fought Max Holloway in Vegas, and I went to the fights. I saw him backstage with Jake Shields and everybody. They were like, they had their own little table. We were like in the same section. But dog, I was like, damn, bro, he wasn't. I was like, Nate Diaz. I was like, maybe I'm a little bit out of shape too. So I'm like, hey, wasn't that big, dog? You know what I'm saying? I was surprised.
But he's never been the most muscular.
He's not muscular at all, though, you know. But he didn't look as tall as I thought, bro. I just thought he was a lot bigger in person.
I just think he does bad against wrestlers. But let's see, if he lands.
I think he's past doing bad against wrestlers, but I don't know if he's in shape right now, dog. Like your body needs to get strong, you know. But he takes these long breaks. He kind of likes fighting like this. What was his last fight? Oh, Leon Edwards' was his last fight. At 170,
that was a year
dog.
ago. That was a year ago.
And before that was like a year or two, right?
Yeah.
Oh, who's the co-main event of this fight? Because we gotta close.
I do not know the co-main event.
I was just watching. Oh! This is a fucked up co-main. What a crazy card, yo.
Which one is it?
Well, let's fight companion this shit, and then we'll do it right here. We can watch the TV like this.
Okay,
That'd
for
be
sure.
dope. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be real funny. But there's only 2 fights to watch. Oh, the fucking madman. El Kukui and Yingling. The Leech and Kukui. What is Kukui doing? They're just gonna build up the Chinese guy.
I was gonna say this is a bad fight for Kukui, but it is a good fight if he wins it.
It's a good fight. But why is he doing that welterweight? He just got knocked out, and this guy is.
Maybe you don't want to cut weight no more. Maybe you know.
It's weird.
Wanna be? Hey, look. Sometimes you gotta make a change to see what's wrong. I mean.
Yeah, and Kamzat killed. Kukui's crazy though. He's lost. Tell me Kukui's not a little bit lost his rocker. I should get him on the podcast. Yo, if I got him on the podcast, just let him rant.
You gotta look at
just
like
let
this.
him rant for like years.
You know, I get that he got knocked out in his last fight, but I think anybody would have been knocked out with that kick. That kick. That was a horse kick. That was a horse kick. Man, he threw that kick with so much power. Michael Chandler threw that kick with so much power.
A guy that looks like that is not supposed to kick you like that. Those legs aren't supposed to move that way. He's got too much horsepower.
But it was with so much power, and he has big legs. So you know he threw it with so much power. Like nobody was gonna survive that kick. That kick would have knocked out a heavyweight.
Yo, Chandler's a tank.
Yeah, exactly. So I but this fight with Yingling, I think. Yingling.
I like Yingling. I like that one.
I think the
Leech. I met him a few times in Thailand.
You know what? Let's see. I'm gonna give Tony a chance just because he's doing a 170, and let's see if it's something. And he's changing camps. He changed camps, I heard, or he joined the camp. I think he was doing his own thing, and now he joined the gym.
It's crazy.
So hey, maybe the changes that Tony makes him better. Let's see.
Yo. All right, and after that, we got a good one. The big one coming up after that. We got the big three. What are you excited for and what are you thinking about? We'll do another podcast before.
What big three?
Oh, Abu Dhabi. Man, a lot of big fights coming up. Okay, we got Abu Dhabi. Peter Yan, Sean O'Malley. Who do you got, dog? Tell me you're going with my boy Yan. Mali ain't the truth. No way. O'Malley ain't training hard, dog.
No, okay, I'll say this.
Maybe he is. I don't know. And then
I think I like O'Malley's skills better. I think Peter's a dog.
Nah, you're crazy. Skills wise, I disagree. I think Peter's way more high
No. What I mean, like I don't
like
mean he's better. I mean I like his swag style of fighting. I like that. I like the full work and the in and out with the creativity that he has with his punches and kicks.
Wait, you don't think Peter? What about Peter?
No, it's great. No, he's great, but he's more fundamental, like boxing fundamental with some kicks.
But nasty kicks.
But I'm always been a fan of like that clever movement.
Yeah, I don't like that shit.
I like that stuff. You know what I mean? I like that.
So you like Adesanya over Pereira?
But like I said, the fight gets hard. That's Peter Yan.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's gonna be a striking, and the only way for this to go Omari's way is him landing and him beating Peter Yan. But outside of that, if this goes to like a nice little battle war, this is all Peter Yan. Omari hasn't proved to us yet in that kind of fight. He's proved to us that he could beat talented guys. But when he's in a kind of like of a dog fight, which he hasn't been in a dog fight that much either. The only time twice that I seen him was at Chito Vera, but he got hurt in the leg. And Pedro Munoz, that kind of like Peter
wasn't going away.
Pedro Munoz was technically kicking him and putting pressure, but he wasn't
affecting. He wasn't damaging. He wasn't making him in fear. He wasn't putting any fear in his life. Like, oh, I gotta watch out.
Exactly.
O'Malley was still doing his thing, bro. Where we need to see him tested, bro, because the minute he got tested, we saw him kind of
with Pedro Munoz, Pedro didn't let go of his hands, so he just had him like with the kicks again, bothering him with the kicks, and like I said, we just haven't seen. And we may not. You don't have to see it because if O'Malley lands and knocks out Peter Yan, hey, you didn't have to even put him in those kind of waters. I always say this, you don't have to go to deep waters if you finish the fight. You know what I mean? Like, why everybody has to think about like, oh, but if he takes some deep waters, hey, what if he doesn't? You know what I mean? Like, what if it never goes to deep? But if it goes to deep waters, it's Peter Yan. It's Peter Yan.
Quick one: Aljamain Sterling, TJ. It's a tough one, right? Yo, TJ all day, dog. Aljamain can't take him down.
I don't know about that. He took Peter Yan down. I didn't think it was gonna happen.
Nah, but no way, dog. Peter Yan is not wrestling like TJ. TJ has never been taken down. You can't take TJ down.
Yeah, but it's a different.
TJ took down. Nah,
it's a different fight. It's a different fight. You have to understand.
TJ all day long. I think TJ's gonna make it look easy, dog.
Do you think Kobe Covington is a better wrestler than Leon Edwards?
Nah, but listen, doesn't matter.
Stop.
Right, so you're gonna go RJ, we can go back.
Do you think Kobe Covington is a better wrestler than Leon Edwards?
No, but that's totally different, dog.
No, but answer the question.
No.
You don't think so?
That Kobe, yeah, of course he is.
I'm gonna say, you know what I mean?
But
Leon is the one that took.
So what? Is it a little
exactly? Rip, that's what I'm trying to say. The difference between why did Peter Yan may not have the same wrestling background than TJ, but Peter Yan's hands are a little different threatening than TJ's. TJ's a little bit more. It's a different movement. Peter Yan is a little bit more like as soon as he throws, it's like you feel like it's a little more. I feel like Peter Yan's hands are a little bit more intimidating than TJ's.
Yeah.
I think
I would strike with TJ a little more.
Yes.
I'm fucking, what's up?
I'll stay a little bit more with your feet. Then when Peter, I'll be like, so I'm saying like, I feel like Aljamain could start striking a little bit with TJ and then get under.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe. Or
TJ? On TJ? I think TJ might take Aljo down.
Wait, look, remember, a takedown doesn't just come by me taking you down. It could come by me going for a takedown, you stop the sprawl, and I take your back.
Spin the back.
I spin the back. That's how he did a lot to Corey Sangham, whatever fucking. I forgot his
AJ?
name. No.
Sterling did that to
No.
Corey
TJ.
Sandhagen?
TJ did it to Corey.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think. So
But take the back like that. But sometimes he wasn't taking him down.
I think TJ could
But
run-
taking the back, and Aljamain does that. But Aljamain, you know what he's so good at? Once he takes the back, he pulls that body lock and he takes your back.
And I have a friend that used to train with him in college that trained with me in Thailand. He was telling me that his body lock he's been fucking people up with that body lock since college.
Exactly. So, okay, but let me give you my my pick.
AJ, TJ, Aljamain. Yes, Aljo, not AJ.
I think Aljo is gonna get that.
Aljo, TJ,
Yeah.
Aljo, my dog, and then
So you say TJ, right?
I say TJ's gonna.
I say Aljo. You say Peter. I say Peter. I say Peter. I say Peter in a dogfight.
I say Peter regardless.
Peter regardless. You know what?
I don't think it's gonna be easy. I don't think it's gonna be a dogfight, dog. I think Peter's got too much. I don't know. In Yon Island, called it Yon Island. That's where he won his title. That's where he fights the best.
We could be surprised.
We could, dog,
because
but not Sean.
it's not like Omari doesn't have a nice right hand or kicks to really upset the night.
He can knock him out,
and throw wheel kicks. He could do a lot of things.
But he couldn't knock out that little kid, dog. Remember he got.
But every fight is different.
I know.
Every fight is different. You know what I mean?
I know, dog. But yo, Pedro didn't get knocked out. Cheeto didn't get knocked out. Peter's not the one.
I know, but what?
That'd be crazy.
This is what
if
happens.
It is, we got the biggest star ever.
This is when it happens. This is when it happens.
This is like AJ. This is like Adesanya winning the title for UFC. They're gonna be so happy, dog. This would be the best shit for them. You know, like they get a star because he's the only guy that's not a champion that drives a Lambo, bro.
Yeah, you know he's a star.
And he's got the podcast, but don't worry, dog. We got a podcast.
He just has
the same setup as him.
You know, his swag.
He's
you
got
know,
the swag,
he's
dog,
attractive.
purple hair and shit.
You know, he's a new.
And he does jiu-jitsu.
It's like this era type of kid that people like the colorful things. People love 6ix9ine, bro.
Yeah, he's 6'9". So, he's got the face tattoos, dog.
He's like, but he's a real fighter. This guy's a fighter. You know what I mean?
Right.
6ix9ine is whatever.
The main event.
Which one is it?
Charles Oliveira.
Oof.
This is crazy, right? I'm just excited, dog.
I think that fight.
My heart, Oliveira, but my brain tells me.
I argue a lot with people about this fight because first of all, look, all the respect to Islam, I think he's great. I just feel like
I don't like
his last 2-3 fights. He hasn't fought anybody in the top 10. He fought like
he fucking tapped out Hooker real quick though.
Yeah, but Hooker was not even in the top 10 at that time.
Quick though.
And then he beat Bobby Green, which was a late replacement. And then he beat up
Did he decision Bobby Green?
Moises, which Moises was not even in the top 10. So and then he gets a title shot, and I'm like, why are you getting a title shot without beating nobody in the top 10?
Nobody wants to fight him. People get hurt.
I don't believe that. That whole thing, nobody wants to fight. I just don't believe that. Yeah, I just don't believe that. I just, sometimes some people are already lined up to fight other people, and that's up to the matchmakers and everybody that's organizing this. But let's be real, UFC fighters don't say really. Some guys at the high level, like guys like difficult to negotiate, like Nate Diaz, John Jones, McGregor, all that. But there's guys that you got in the top that that you tell them you gotta fight Islam, you gotta fight Islam. Nothing else to say.
They'll do it.
And don't get me wrong. Islam was ready to fight Benil Dariush, and he's a real deal.
Yeah.
And Benil's the one that got hurt, so it's not Islam's fault.
And then Hooker had to replace him.
My thing is that I just been a fan of who Charles is right now. He's a real deal. What's going on? The time?
Yeah, keep talking.
Yeah.
Oh, we're good.
Yeah. I just think right now Charles is in the top of the world right now, and because it's just the transition I've seen from a guy that like not everybody may believe in him. Not only that, but like a guy that at one point you knew he was talented, but you felt like whenever he get cracked or whenever a person put the pressure, or the fight got kind of like strong and dirty and tough, he will shy away from the fight.
Yeah.
And now he just welcomes the
Like we were saying, bro, he learned from his mistakes, dog.
he welcomes all that
he was
craziness
that guy that
now.
showed that body language before,
Now
but he learned.
wants
He
to
made the
be in the
adjustments.
fire. Now
He
he wants
lives
to
in
be
the
in
fire.
yeah,
He's born in the fire.
So now it's different for me to
Made
see
him.
him. I'm watching him his last 3 fights where he's getting hurt, but then he comes back
He
and
doesn't give a
beats his
fuck.
guys.
He never gets the
You know what I
memo.
mean? So
he gets dropped and then he comes out the next
and
round.
what are
Like
you gonna
he didn't
and what are
even
you
get
gonna
dropped.
do? Oh, you take him down, bro. He has great jiu-jitsu.
His Muay Thai.
He's great jiu-jitsu,
And
bro.
his Muay Thai is
and
so good.
his wrestling is getting better too. His takedowns are looking good, sharp.
He shoots double legs. He got hurt and he took down Chandler. Double leg, beautiful double leg, jiu-jitsu, dog.
Exactly.
He's
so
at that point in jiu-jitsu where he can wrestle. He's not worried about the
so
wrestlers
I'm going
anymore.
for Charles.
Me too, all day, every day.
I still think he's still a big threat, but I think Charles is gonna make this. Bro, from the
Hope
beginning
so.
of the fight, Charles just comes in, man, and just
He's the
like
best.
he doesn't
He's
even
so
ta-
good, dog.
like sometimes I take like about a few seconds before, like at least even sometimes 10 to 20 seconds before I even
He's the
throw my
best.
first blow. He's already coming in and he's just walking and bah, like, he just starts right there, you know. But he has a nice approach. He has very clean striking. It's very tight out. I wish he had a little bit more hip movement.
Nah, but his style.
But it's not, and I wish he had a little bit more finesse footwork. It's great footwork.
But he's
I just
more,
mean like
it's just different. It's
yes,
just different.
it's just different. It's a
He
little bit more.
found his
It's more
style
forward.
for
It's
him.
more forward. You know what I mean?
It's a pressure,
I wish.
dog.
It,
He's
yeah, I
not-
wish it would have a little bit more slick into
fights
it.
like Johnny, but he fights in that Thai style
But
where they go
exactly,
forward.
he has great knees, but his jiu-jitsu. I keep saying that, so people forget that this guy. You know, he's a real active guard. He's a real guard. When you get in his guard, be ready to eat elbows and to eat the moment you want to ground and pound. There may be a triangle coming up, an arm bar. You know, he's just very slick on his back, and when he has your back too, or he's mounted, and you're like, he has great jiu-jitsu. Okay? You know, he has really good jiu-jitsu, and that's gonna play a big part in this fight.
Hell yeah.
So
Yo.
I got Charles.
Charles Oliveira, me too. I'm going with same picks as you. All right, let's close out the show, dog. We've been dragging it out. Yo, so what's going on with the Colombian Warrior, dog? Let the people know what's going on. Let's finish off with a little bit of let the people know what's next for you, bro.
Who's that?
That's a little, I don't know, this little guy. Like
Oh, okay. Oh, Rocky. Rocky.
Yo, so let the people know what's going on with Colombian Warrior since last time we
Well,
spoke.
right now I'm what's it called? I'm going to fight soon.
Nice.
I don't really have right now either a date or an opponent, but we know it will be soon. I'll say before, of course, I want to fight 1 or 2 times before the year ends.
Nice.
So I know I want to fight soon. I didn't get resigned, so I'm actually right now I'm a free agent. So right now I'm looking for like. Right now we're working on that right now. So
Beautiful.
But we know that we're fighting.
But you're in
my
fight
career,
camp?
yeah, my career's still going on, but the ball's still
Hell yeah.
rolling. You know what I mean? I got the ball rolling still. You know what I mean? So, I'm just right now like you know, right now what we're focusing on right now is get the next fight. You know
The
what I mean?
road to
Because
redemption,
it's a fight at a time.
Hell yeah.
You know, I have a big goal. I still have goals. You know what I mean? You always gotta have goals, but to get to a goal, you gotta achieve smaller goals to get to a big goal. You know what I mean? And right now, my next goal is my next fight. I don't know who it is right now. I don't know for who I'm fighting and what day, but I'm getting ready for like early November, end of October, around that time. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for. And we're looking for what we're gonna do. We don't know yet, but I just know I am fighting. I'm right now. I'm training like because I know I'm getting news like probably like in a week.
Nice.
Yeah, they already told me they're giving me news in a week, so that's it. You know, I just gotta. I always train anyways. I'm always been ready to take a fight regardless.
Yeah. So I see right now
You
you're
know.
looking good though. You're looking in shape, ready to go.
Yeah.
You're sparring like usual.
Yeah,
conditioning.
but I'm I have toned down a lot of sparring, but I still do sparring. But I
Nice.
toned down a lot of sparring because you don't need to spar so much. But yeah, I spar. I still spar. I still need it. I need to see punches and feel the realization of how real it is. You know,
Yeah.
being part of still in a fight. It's still not as real as a fight, but it's the closest thing you could get. I'm still doing conditioning. I've been doing pool workouts. Shout out to my coach Jonathan Lopez. He's been actually, you know, working with me a lot of weightlifting. I actually gained some a little bit more muscles and stuff. Or like, you know, I feel like stronger now. I did gain a little weight, but I'm gonna Right now, we're gonna start like doing different things, still workout weights, but not trying to build so much muscle because now we gotta make 45. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're right now 170.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? No, it's fine. I'm still still good. It's only 25 pounds, but we've been doing a pool workouts too. Same thing. I'm always been dedicated to my career. So right now we're just looking forward for the next fight and. That's all, man. I feel bad for this next fool, man, because hey, man, I'm heated, man. I need to get my hand raised. I haven't gotten my hand raised in a year and a half, bro. That I technically got my hand raised when I did a draw, but they got his hand raised too. So it's like it's not really weird. It was whack.
Long overdue.
So I gotta get back I gotta get back to that person that went on a 4-5 win streak and made it to UFC. You know what I mean? I gotta get back to that person.
The road to redemption. Baby.
Yes, I gotta get back to that guy. You know what I mean? I know how talented I am, and I know I'm very self aware of what's going on in my career, where I'm at, and everything. I know what I could do. I know. Just go do it. You know what I mean? Just go do it. You know what I mean? There's nothing else to it. You know what I mean? I'm already a veteran. I'm not a young guy that's still learning. I'm still learning, but I'm not a young guy that's learning how to still do certain things. Like I already have the experience I already know what it is going to a big stage, fighting a high level fighter. I already know what it is having like I already know how to fight. You know what I mean? Like I already know how to throw a jab, across, a hook. I know what kind of techniques I like. What happens in a fight is who makes the right decisions. You know what I mean? And I came with, and we all come with game plans. My coaches set up the game plans, which it was perfect. I really had the right game plans for my last fight. It just didn't go my way. And even the fight that I had with Jerry, it just didn't go my way. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's whoever executes the right way. You know what I mean? And because that's the crazy thing about MMA. It's such a unpredictable sport. Because
it's a game of inches.
Yes, and like I said, at one point, like we saw the fight between Usman and Leon. He was about to defend his belt, and and then 50 seconds left. You make a very fundamental mistake of leaning to the side without your hands up. You kind of went like this, and you eat a kick, and you saw it in Leon's face. Leon was defeated already. He was defeated. You know what he did? He just never stopped fighting, but he was defeated. He probably felt like 50 seconds away from like losing my opportunity, but he was still like, let's go for a kick, pop, and he got him. You know what I mean? But he never stopped fighting. You know what I mean? But he looked defeated already. He was frustrated. He was stressed. He felt like but he just never stopped fighting because he kept going to the offense side of it. He didn't just go backwards and let him put him in the cage and take him back down. He actually just went for the offense after they get back up. Remember when they got back up? Yeah, and he went straight. He right away straight to kick him in the leg, and then he went for the 1-2 and then kick. You know what I mean? Because he kept fighting.
Beautiful, man.
So that's the thing about MMA, man. MMA is a crazy sport. It's and like I said, you could be the most talented guy. You could be the most hardworking guy. You could be a combination of both. You still could lose. Yeah. You could be the guy that goes out there and does all the right things. You still could lose. All right? It's what at the end of the day, it's what you do in that cage is what matters and what counts.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful sport because it's never over, dog, and the game continues on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the more, as long as we're training, living alive, you could live to fight another day.
Look, once
get back to the ring.
Once you have quality training, quality technique, you have the right people around you. Your great coaches, your great teammates. Your family, your friends that support you, and your fans. What else is left? Is you. It's just you putting in the work and do the right things, go out and win the fights. Because all the right things are there. It's all about you making go get it. You know what I mean? And it happens to every athlete out there. How many athletes went out there to try to become like champions of whatever sport they're in, and you just sometimes it's just like there's other ones that are getting there that they're trying to get there, but just. Like I said, it's just sometimes you lose those games, you don't make it to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, it just happens. And the same thing to you. You lose those fights, you don't, you know what I mean? So it's sometimes it's like you made the wrong pass. Oh, in basketball, you made the wrong pass, it's a turnover, boom, the game is over. Oh, the whole team lose.
You live to fight another day, dog.
Exactly. So that's how you do it. It's the same thing in this sport. The difference that I always say this is the most unpredictable and the craziest sport because you always, until that bell doesn't ring, you could win the fight.
Hell yeah. Yo, that's a good way to close it.
Done, homie.
Right, done.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, good way to close out the show. We're out. Honey Badger Hour.